Series B. Vineet Bhatnagar, Managing Director of MF Global, joins in to talk about that. Morning, Vineet. Good to see you in. The series is not starting with great strength. What do you expect for the next couple of weeks?
Yes, there has been weakness that one has witnessed over the last few trading sessions. The rollovers that we saw as far as Nifty is concerned yesterday was lower than the average that we have seen in the last few months. So it was lower than the average rollover that was visible. The volatilities of both the ATM as well as OTM Nifty options have been bouncing around quite dramatically over the last few weeks. What we reckon is that on a technical basis, a number of 5927 is looking important, because it happens to coincide as a Fibonacci ratio for the entire move that one has seen in the recent past. Which started off at around 53.48 and culminated at 62.80. So that's a number to watch out for. However, if the weakness continues, there could be an erosion which could be in the region of another 100 points as far as Nifty is concerned. The more important thing that I guess that we need to take into account is that there has been a broader participation in terms of where the weakness has come as far as yesterday's closing session was concerned, last half an hour, and that it appears in the morning session today has just continued. So we will watch out for 5927 and then look at 5816 as the next level thereafter.
What's going on the arbitrage front, Vineet? Any difficulties that people are experiencing because of near-term liquidity or cost of capital? Have any issues cropped up over the last few days?
Yes, of course. The IPOs did draw in a lot of capital, over the last few weeks. While that was understood and known, what people did, of course, was to substitute their cash portfolio, converted into cash, substituted it with single stock future positions, and because long cash positions got substituted by long single stock future positions, they were all coming off for a long rollover in the last few days, including yesterday. And what it resulted in, which was a combination of a selling pressure on the cash segment, and a long rollover inclination on the single stock future, the spreads actually widened quite dramatically in the last half an hour. One was seeing that even on a Nifty, which was getting rolled over at a premium of about 35 points, which itself is higher than the normal range that we see in the previous expiries, was at about 35, but in the last 30 minutes it expanded to as much as about 65 to 80 basis points. So that was quite dramatic. The talk on the street is that a lot of positions and F&O positions for prop books suffered a lot because of this sudden dramatic movement in the last half an hour yesterday.
Any sense that you're getting, Vineet, that FIIs might be just going a little easy or reducing their commitments for the November series in terms of the futures positions or even options positions on the long side?
Not really. The numbers that we have indicate a very minor reduction in terms of where the open OIs are sitting as of now for November versus what one saw during that entire expiration period of October. The fact that they were facing difficulty in terms of long rolls was one of the points that could indicate towards a bit lower open interest in index future positions. But yesterday there was another opportunity that we saw that people were able to capitalize, especially the FIIs, which was an arbitrage between the Nifty future versus the components of Nifty, either as Nifty cash basket or or basket comprising single stock futures on those 50 names. So that was that was a wonderful art that was available, and people did come in to capitalize or to participate in it. My own sense is that notwithstanding that that the market may show some level of weakness in the coming few trading sessions or weeks. One is not clear yet, but the FIIs have not shown any indication at this point in time about about reducing their book size, if you will.
What are the implied volatility suggesting to you now, Vineet, after the relative tiredness of the last couple of days? Have they been on an upswing, indicating more volatility and perhaps weakness in the next week or couple of weeks?
No, it's quite the contrary actually. In the last one or two trading sessions, one has seen that the ATM IVs came down by as much as about 60 to 180 basis points, and it is now reading at about 19%. So it is trading at about the 50th percentile as far as Nifty is concerned. If you look at the last 1 year ATM walls for Nifty. So the fact that it is sitting at somewhere like 50th percentile does not necessarily mean anything at all. It could slide a bit, move towards what one was seeing 5-6 months ago, where it used to sit in the 20th percentile range, but it could it could move to something like a 40th percentile, which would indicate that the reading could start looking at something like 17.5%. But we think that there could be a possibility, unless Nifty slides to 5900 and just stays there, thereby displaying some level of sluggishness or sideways movement for few trading sessions. The volatility should settle down at about 17, and it could perhaps start moving towards 19.5. Of course, one is also aware of the fact that there could be general laziness in the market because of the festival season that may come up end of November, mid-December kind of a period. But we are not looking at anything very dramatic in terms of the collapse of the volatilities.
What is the options activity suggesting to you for a range for the month of November when you look at the Nifty options, calls and puts?
Yes, the maximum build-up that we have seen as far as the calls are concerned are concentrated at 6200 and 6300 strikes, which is something that we were seeing even in October. So come November, the positions are almost equally spread in terms of the two highest calls between 6200 and 6300. Each one of it is contributing to about $500 million in notional values. As far as the put build-up is concerned, it is concentrated more at 6,000, but there is some activity that is visible for the puts at 5,800, and therefore I guess if Nifty were to settle at about 5,900, that could be one possible trade for November of going long with 5,900 calls for Nifty.
Thanks, Vineet, for your thoughts and for joining in today. That's MF Global on how they see the month of November. They are not very pessimistic. Say in this zone of 100 points in the Nifty, it should find some support. It is finding some support around 59, 50, 60 today, and has clawed back to around 59.80. Not a strong market, but not a market which is breaking down at least yet. More sluggish than